everyone, welcome back to Think Outside the Board, or if this is your first time here, then simply welcome. This video series is called the Crowdfunding Roundup, and in these videos I share with you what I consider to be the best crowdfunding launches of the last week. This is the fourth episode for October, and today I'll be taking a look at all of the crowdfunding launches that happened from October the 18th through the 24th. Now, I'm about a week late getting this video out because I had a dentist appointment last week. There was a lot of work done and it left me unable to really speak on camera for a while, but also to focus and get work done. So it kind of set me back almost a week. So I'm recording this on a Tuesday, on Halloween, on the 31st. I fully expect to have this edited and posted by tomorrow at the latest, at which point I will then begin work on the fifth and final episode for October. That will be covering everything from the 25th through the 31st, so that will include the things that are launching today on Halloween. However, it's just not going to be a big week next week, because it's Halloween, so people aren't really launching a lot of crowdfunding campaigns right now. So this video is going to be very long. I have 12 campaigns to share with you, but then in the video following in a couple days, I fully expect that video to be live by Friday, which is the normal time. It's only looking like there'll be a few games in that video, so that will be a shorter video. Now, at the end of this video, I will tell you the campaigns that are likely to appear in that video. And also at the end of this video, I'll be talking about all the games that are new to my collection this period. And as I will be soon relaunching my teach and review videos, as well as launching live streaming, the purpose of me sharing with you every video what is new to the collection is so that you can then go down into the comments section and let me know which of those games you are interested in me bumping to the top of the queue, both for teach and review videos and for live streams. So let me know in the comments if any of those games are games you want to see new content made for. And those will be the other types of content that I'll be producing for the foreseeable future in addition to these crowdfunding videos. So even if you're not that into crowdfunding, there is still a reason to subscribe to the channel, which is to stay looped in for that content, the teach and reviews and the live streaming once that launches. And I'm hoping to get at least one, hopefully both of those things launched before the end of the year. Now, as always, my videos are bookmarked, so you can scroll over the play bar, find exactly the content that you're looking for, and go right to that content. If you don't have time to watch the entire video, which could be the case this week, considering I'm covering 12 different campaigns, that could be a good tool for you to make use of. I also have links for all of the campaigns that I'm talking about. So you can go down into the description section, click on the link to that campaign, and it will take you right to that campaign. That way you can find it very easily, look at the campaign more if you want to, and pledge it if that's something you decide that you want to do. The best way to support this channel is still to like and subscribe, so you can do that at any point while you're watching the video. Now, without any further ado, let's barrel forward and get started with the first of our 12 campaigns for this week. This is for a game called Ezra and Nehemiah. This is a new game from Garphill Games, and it's a little bit different for them. It's not part of another trilogy. Well, at least not yet, not that's been announced. So for now, this is a standalone game, and it is Bible-themed, which is a little bit different for Garphill. This is the publisher that's done the Of the North Sea trilogy, the Of the West Kingdom trilogy. Right now they're finishing up the Of the South Tigris trilogy, and they've also worked on the Circadians games. So in terms of designers, the designers of this game, there's two of them, are S.J. McDonald and Shem Phillips. Shem Phillips started Garphill Games by himself, and he designed the Of the North Sea trilogy by himself. And by the time he started on the Of the West Kingdom trilogy, so that's Paladins, Architects, and Viscounts, S.J. McDonald was a co-designer. Also, the art on this one is Sam Phillips, that's Shem Phillips' brother, and Sam Phillips is doing more and more of the art at Garphill Games. The Miho has done a lot of the art, but Sam Phillips is doing more and more. He's done both of the Circadians games, Hadrian's Wall, Legacy of You, and Raiders of Scythia. Raiders of Scythia is the game that kind of redesigned Raiders of the North Sea with both of the expansions baked into it. And as far as Garphill Games goes, the games that they are best known for are Hadrian's Wall, Raiders of the North Sea, and the entire of the West Kingdom trilogy, Architects, Paladins, and Viscounts. Now, in taking a look at this here, we can see that they had a funding goal of about $13,000. They're at about $259,000, which is about 19 times that funding goal. This project launched on October the 18th, and it's going to run until November the 2nd. So we're getting very late up against the wall of when this one's going to fund, just because it took me a while to get this video out because of dental work. There was another game I was going to include as well. That was the Queen Games, their latest campaign. I think it was for Amsterdam Essential. But that campaign premiered the day after my last video, and it was a short campaign, so it's already ended. And in addition to that, I know that some people are not loving Queen Games right now because they are using Kickstarter and crowdfunding as a way to sell off old stock, which is not really what it's meant to do or what people are supposed to be doing with it. So either way, I'm not covering Amsterdam Essential in this video. The campaign has already ended. And if Ezra and Nehemiah is something that you think you want to back, I would recommend jumping on it as soon as you see this video. Now, I already mentioned this is a Bible-themed game. It's going to be set in Jerusalem. It's got worker placement and city building. There's tech trees, track movement, and hand management. And it does look to be another heavy complexity game from Garphill Games. We're going to watch this video, which is a longer video, but it gives you a good look at all of the mechanics. And after we're done with that, we'll take a look at the 2 pledges that you can choose from and the various add-ons.
In Ezra and Nehemiah, players are Israeli exiles who are returning to Jerusalem to rebuild the city. The game takes place over 3 rounds, each consisting of 6 turns and then a Sabbath. On their turn, a player will play a card to one of 3 slots on their player board. Each card will have banners in the top left, and these will dictate what action the player can do that round and the strength of said action. So if the card had 2 blue banners and 1 gray banner, they can do the blue action with a strength of 2 or the gray action with a strength of 1. But as you play more cards to your board, you will get to use the banners on other cards as well. So if I played this card here and I wanted to do the red action, I would use all of the red banners and have a strength of 7. As the game goes on, cards will get placed behind your player aid here and give you permanent banners as well. Note that you only have 3 slots for cards, but you will play 6 cards in a round, so you will have to cover these cards up. Each stack can have a maximum of 2 cards, so at the end of the round you will have 3 stacks of 2 cards, so plan accordingly. Now let's go over the 3 colors of actions. Each action has 2 things that you can do, and you're always allowed to do both if you can afford to. The gray action is how you clear rubble and rebuild the walls of the city. First, you will choose a wall space that you will work on this turn. You may clear the rubble if there's any from that space. Clearing rubble costs gray banners. Black cubes are cinders and cost 1 gray banner to remove. White cubes are stone and brown cubes are wood, and they each cost 2 banners to remove. And gold cubes are gold, and they cost 3 banners to remove. So if I had 4 banners, I could remove this wood and this stone. Rubble you remove goes to your player board. If you clear the last rubble off a space, you will gain the blessing shown in that space. Once all 3 of your blessings have reached a space, you will gain the bonus on top. The other gray action you can do is build a section of wall. This costs the resources shown in that space and the amount of banners. You will then draw 3 wall cards, choosing 1 to place in that space, and you'll gain the benefit shown on the card. And then you will place 1 of the 2 unused cards on top of your wall deck and the other one on the bottom of your wall deck. There are also multiple spots for gates, and you can build these gates and take ownership of them as well. If anyone builds next to the gate, they and the owner of the gate will gain the benefit at the top of the gate. The next color banner is red. These have to do with the temple and the altar. At the beginning of this action, you may pay the bread cost and place 1 of your workers in the temple as a Levite. How many Levites you have determines how many resources you can deliver to the temple and the altar. So if I had 3, I can deliver 3 resources. At the temple, you may deliver stone, wood, or gold. gold. Where you place it in the temple will dictate how many banners you will need. Note that you do not have to work from bottom to top, and you will gain the bonus on the right of a row when you place a resource. Placing wood or stone will gain you 1 point, and placing gold gains you 2 points. You may also deliver resources to the altar to move up the altar track. You may pay cinders to move up the altar once, and wood to move up the altar twice. Cinders cost 1 banner, and wood costs 3 banners. As you move up the altar, you will gain the bonuses you cross. At the end of the round, you will gain bonuses or punishments depending on where you are in relation to the prophets. The farther right, the better. The last color banner is blue. The 2 actions for blue are teaching the Torah and tenting around the city. To tent around the city, you will use blue banners and move according to this table. Every bonus your tent moves past, you will gain. To teach the Torah, you will need to put out workers as scribes. You may place a scribe on any empty scroll as long as there is a claimed scroll beneath it, though you will need to pay the players whose pieces are below you. The bottom row gives you the Zerubbabel, Ezra, and Nehemiah cards, which give you a bonus and then become permanent banners. The middle 2 rows give you access to special powers like this one that says whenever you build a wall or gate, you get a discount of 1 stone. And the top row will give you endgame scoring. Each row will have a banner and a silver or gold cost to place a scribe there. So those are the main actions, but there's more you can do on your turn. You may always do one of 2 auxiliary actions. The first auxiliary action is trading with the card you just played. Each card you play has a possible trade at the bottom that you may carry out at any point on your turn. The second auxiliary action is turning over a development tile. These will cost the resources in the top left, and you will gain the bonus on the right and then flip the tile over. The flipped sides will be stronger and they'll be worth endgame points. At any point on your turn, you may also place out workers as traders and elders. These give you immediate bonuses like resources or even extra banners, though they will stay there until the end of the round. Okay, so those are the things that you can do on a turn. Once all players have taken 6 turns, the Sabbath happens. If any players have this Sabbath symbol, they will gain the benefits shown next to it. Then they will place all of their leftover workers as farmers to gain food or laborers to gain some resources. Then players will see the Prophet's Judgment, which is shown on this card. If you are behind the back prophet, you will usually gain a punishment shown on the left side of the card. If you are in between the prophets, you will gain the benefit in the middle, and if you are in front of the front prophet, you will gain the benefit on the right. You will then feed all of your workers 1 food per worker. Note that this does include your workers who are scribes and gatekeepers, but not your Levites, as they're fed by the temple. The last thing that you will do during the Sabbath is tuck one of the 6 cards you played this round behind your player aid. All of your player cards have Sabbath scoring at the top. You will then score all of your tuck cards. Note that tucking a card also gives you more permanent banners for subsequent rounds. Once the Sabbath is finished, you will reset for the next round to continue. At the end of the 3rd round, the game will end and you will move to endgame scoring. At the end of the game, you will convert resources to silver and then score 1 point for every 5 silver. You will gain 2 points for every flip development tile. You will score 3 points if you're the leader on the altar track. You will score points for every one of your walls and claimed gates. You will gain points for the rows that your scribes are in, and then finally score any scrolls you have claimed in the top row. And at the end of all that, the player with the most points will win.
All right, so that was very dense with information. Normally I don't show it like kind of a teach that's 5 or 6 minutes long, especially at the start of my video, but it is the video that Garpel wanted to put on their front page, so we watched it, and hopefully that at least gives you an idea if those mechanics and this game are right for you. Now let's go down the page a little bit, and we're going to take a look at the 2 pledges here that you can pledge and the various add-ons. And what's interesting is it seems like Garpel, as far as add-ons go, is focusing on the other games that Sam Phillips has illustrated. So those are the games that you can get as add-ons and the promo packs for those games and those games only. So the pledges themselves, and I'm going to say this once at the start of the video, but I talk a lot about shipping. I'm always talking about shipping in terms of US shipping for the continental US. So if you are somewhere else, then you need to adjust the shipping for you. So for this campaign, we've got the base game here, pledge for $44. There's $12 of shipping on this, so that's $56 total. And that's going to get you the base game and the scroll tiles promo. You can also pledge, well, and I should mention there are multiple language copies, so make sure that you are pledging for whatever copy your language is. So there's English, there's French, And then there is this pledge with coins included. And Garpel tends to keep the shipping down. They also tend to include coins, a lot of metal coins in all of their pledges, but not much extra. So generally, if you want to pledge this on crowdfunding, it's really supportive of the company to do so. But you will be able to find this, in retail in pretty much the same condition as the Kickstarter copy. So there's not a lot of upgrades. The one thing that you're getting is the promo packs, really. That's the extra that's probably not going to retail, and if you do find it at retail, it's going to be a separate purchase. So for this pledge, the base game and coins, this is a $59 pledge, also $12 in shipping, $71 total. And those are your two pledges. There's also copies of this in French as well. And it looks like with this campaign, they're just doing English and French. In past campaigns, they've also included language editions for like Spanish and other languages as well. Okay, so those are your two reward levels as they illustrate them right here as well. And then if we go down a little bit further, here's that Scroll Tiles promo that you're going to be getting if you back this campaign. But if we go down further, we see the add-ons. So you can get extra copies of Ezra and Nehemiah, and that is also $44. I have this written down in terms of US dollars, so even though it says New Zealand dollars here, when I mention the cost, I will be talking again in US dollars. So the metal coins as an add-on is $15. Legacy of You as an add-on, different game, $44. Same with Hadrian's Wall, also $44. Raiders of Scythia Deluxe, which comes with a set of 32 metal coins, is a $53 add-on. And I should mention that I think Hadrian's Wall, if I'm right, I don't think they did a Kickstarter for this. I think this one went just to retail. So you can get more packs of metal coins, 32 each, for $12. And then we've got the promo packs here. So this is for Legacy of You, the 2022 promo pack. That's going to be $7 US. And then we've got a promo pack for Hadrian's Wall. That's $5. And a promo pack for Raiders of Scythia. That is $5 as well. And if we look over here, we can see that the estimated delivery for this campaign is August of 2024. From there, we go to The Witcher, Path of Destiny, which takes us over to Gamefound. And this is the biggest campaign of the video in terms of just sheer dollars. So they're at 2.7 million right now. Now, I do want to tell people that this is a different game than the previous Go On Board Witcher game. So if you are not really paying attention and you were signed up for this and you're just going to go and pledge it without thinking about it, know that this is a different game. This is not The Witcher that, delivered within the last 6 months or so from Go On Board. Completely different standalone game. And this is more of a tableau building card game. So just know that this is not an expansion for the other Witcher game, which was also made by Go On Board. This is a completely separate game. Okay, this has a 36 times multiplier, but there is still another campaign with a bigger multiplier than this video. So we'll talk about that when we get to it. This campaign launched on October the 19th, and if we look on the back of this card here, we can see that the campaign is going to run until November the 7th. Okay, so like the other Witcher game, this was also designed by Lukas Wozniak, and before he got this license to do the Witcher games, he did 2 games called Titans and Valhalla. And now he's kind of focusing on this. He's got this new one, this tableau building card game called Path of Destiny, and the previous one that they did, which was called The Witcher Old World. Now, The Witcher Old World, if you look at it over on Board Game Geek, it has an 8.1 rating, which is pretty darn good, and the complexity on that is 2.87, which is like medium heavy. So I expect similar things from Path of Destiny. With everyone, who's the same team working on it, I expect it to, come in with a similar rating, and the complexity may be about the same, maybe a little bit lighter. But with this one, we're going to be looking at tableau building, drafting, and hand management. So we've got a similar situation here where there's only 2 pledges. We'll look at those in a minute. There's a couple of add-ons, but not that many. We'll go over those as well. But first, we're going to look at this video, and it's a little bit shorter than the last one. There is a video here at the very end on game mechanics if you want to take a look at that on your own, but we're just going to look at the intro video over here.
Bards like to say that fate is a story already told, but destiny is never set in stone. Our choices can reveal new paths. Take on the role of Geralt, Yennefer, Ciri, Vesemir, or Dandelion. Immerse yourself in stories familiar to you from the Witcher series. Select one of the tales, and with it, a unique board game experience. Follow the path of destiny, or completely change its course. Take the side of Stregobor or Renfrew, and try to avoid unnecessary bloodshed in the process. Confront the Dovil and break the deadlock between elves and humans. Uncover the hidden motives of King Foltest and the nobility while seeking to win their favor. Face the mysteries and intrigues behind the curse of the royal daughter. Do it before the Striga devours more victims. Draft unique action cards, manage your hand, build your tableau, and choose your path. Your decisions affect the course of the story, and how it ends depends on your choices. You compete to become a legend remembered by history. So use your unique skills and cunning to become a hero about whom the bards will write songs, even if it nullifies the plan of your comrades. Make strategic decisions, as your choices will determine whether the Striga is disenchanted, driven away, or killed.
Okay. Now let's scroll down a little bit further here to get these 2 pledges. We've got the standard pledge here. This is $55, $19 in shipping, $74 total. And then you've got the deluxe pledge. So this is $85, $22 in shipping, $107 total. And what you get in the deluxe pledge that you do not get in the standard pledge are double layered player boards, miniatures, like you see here, and then also these scoring miniatures. So they're smaller miniatures that you'll be using for your scoring marker. So those are the 2 pledges that you can choose from. We also have some add-ons right here. We've got the Wild Hunt expansion, which is a $40 add-on, and this is going to add in a new story and new mechanics. So you saw in the video there were sort of 3 different books that you could be using in your game, and those will give you different story elements, different mechanics. Well, this is a whole new one. So essentially kind of a 4th story mode for you to choose from. There's also this Ronin standalone game based on the Path of Destiny. So this is a separate game. It's $60 as an add-on. And then there is this miniature here, Geralt on Roach, the horse. And if you were an early follower, or it might have even been if you backed within the first 24 or 48 hours, you were getting this for free, which is cool when they do stuff like that. And I always appreciate it when they have something like this where if you missed that, you can still get it, you just have to pay for it. So it's $12 as an add-on if you missed it and you weren't a backer within the first, I think it was 24 or 48 hours. So those are the add-ons that you can add on to your pledge. None of these are in any of those pledges. The pledges are just the base game, and this one has component upgrades. And as we see here, The Witcher Path of Destiny is planned to deliver in December 2024. From there, we're going to leave Gamefound and go back to Kickstarter for Critter Kitchen. This is a $496,000 right now, off of a $25,000 funding goal. they're at about a 20-time multiplier. Now, this one launched on October the 24th, and everything that I'm going to be talking about for the rest of the video was an October 24th launch. So that was last Tuesday. That was the big day that all of the games tend to come out. Tuesdays are the big launch day for board game crowdfunding. This would normally be the big day, Halloween, the 31st, for the next video, but it's Halloween, so there just aren't going to be as many games launching today. But come back in a few days and we'll see what did end up launching. Okay. So this campaign is going to run until November the 16th. This is a co-design between Alex Cutler and Peter Hayward. Peter Hayward's probably best known for Village Pillage and That Time You Killed Me. And this is being published by Cardboard Alchemy. They've published Flamecraft, and it's the same artist as Flamecraft, so it may look similar, Sandra Tang, and Mission Catastrophe. And they've also run a campaign for the new Luke Laurie game. It's kind of Dwellings of Eldervale in space. It's called Andromeda's Edge, and that campaign has been run, but the game has not delivered yet. So that is in the pipeline. Now, Sandra Tang, the artist here, is probably best known for the games Legacy of Dragonholt, Lord of the Rings, the card game, Descent, Journeys in the Dark, 2nd edition, and Flamecraft. And mechanics-wise, we're going to be looking at contracts, program movement, and variable player powers with this one. So we're going to take a look at this video, and then we'll come back and take a look at the 3 pledges as well as the add-ons. Now for this one, I believe that the only add-ons are merch. So you've kind of got like a standard pledge, a deluxe pledge with some extra things in it, and then a big all-in pledge that has lots of merch. And if you just want some of that merch, you can get that merch as add-ons. And we'll look at all of that after the video.
In the bustling town of Bistro Bay, it's Restaurant Week. Players compete to gather ingredients to satisfy food challenges and impress the celebrity critic coming to town. The local markets have a variety of delicious ingredients available. Send your chefs and be the first to see what they have to offer. You can't go everywhere, so choose where you think you'll get the best deals. Each of Bistro Bay's fascinating locations offer different options each day to make this Restaurant Week the best there ever was.
Critter Kitchen is a 2 to 5 player game where your chefs gather key ingredients, compete in challenges, and serve up a 7-course meal to a famous critic coming to town. Players simultaneously and secretly plan where to send their 3 chefs. Some of your chefs are faster, whereas some can carry more ingredients, so planning carefully is essential. Everyone then reveals at the same time, finding out who went where and how they fared. Chefs head to locations to shop for ingredients, spices, and more. The mouse chef is small and quick, so is first in line at the shops, but can only carry 1 ingredient. However, the lizard isn't far behind and can carry 2. The boar is slow and steady, always arriving last. But watch out, the boar can snatch up to 3 items. You'll want to keep an eye on daily challenges to score big. Street eats. Mix up your play at the fun locations around town. Don't know what you need? The Midnight Merchant might just have it. You'll just have to see when you get there. A visit to the Chef Academy could get you additional ingredients or a new sous chef. That's right, another fun member of your team just for 1 round. These new helpers all come with their own special abilities. Each round presents a new chance to gain sous chefs of various sizes. Save up your absolute best ingredients for a big finale. Every play will feature an eccentric critic that will change the game. Who will it be this time? Perhaps the tree shrew, the kangaroo, or maybe the fruit bat. Savvy restaurateurs keep their ears open for rumors, which can tip you off to what the celebrity critic most desires. Want to spice it up further? Recruit restaurateurs like Anthony Bourdain, Jamie Oliver, and Martha Schruert to give your kitchen a variable player power. A multitude of different critics, sous chefs, rumors, and restaurateurs mean every game is fresh. Back now and gain the a la carte expansion included free with your pledge. Deluxe Critter Kitchen includes all wooden meeples, game trays, and more. Critter Kitchen, now on Kickstarter.
Okay, so that expansion is included at any pledge, and that's the Kickstarter exclusive that will be the thing that you'll get that will differentiate it from the retail edition. So we're going to look at these pledges in a second, but I wanted to look at this what's in the box first, because this talks about the difference between the standard and the deluxe. So in the standard here, you're getting kitchen boards, player shields, these chef meeples, tie-break hats, the waterfront board, the priority track, the round tracker, and these location boards. Rumor tokens, ingredient tokens, this draw bag, bisque tokens, a hold token, spice tokens, and soup tokens. Also restaurateur cards, player location cards, and critic cards and sous chef cards. Not to mention sous chef tokens, challenge cards, rumor cards, challenge plates, critic plates, star tokens, final road tokens, and the free a la carte expansion, which they're going to be probably selling later. This has 12 sous chef cards in it, as well as sous chef tokens, 9 carts, all this stuff. It's a lot of stuff. 6 to 7 player mode. It's just getting crazy, right? A lot of this stuff. This is in any edition. You're getting all of these. Okay, so in the deluxe, what happens? Well, before we do that, let's take a look at the standard pledge. So it's $40. It's got $16 in shipping. It is a $56 total. And the deluxe edition is $80, so that's twice as much. $18 in shipping for a $98 total. So what are you getting for that pretty much double price? Well, you're getting this. Deluxe transforms standard with exceptional upgrades, includes free upgraded a la carte expansion. So you're going to get these sous chefs in meeple form, and then a lot of upgraded components. So cardboard becomes metal coins. All of these cardboard tokens become wood tokens. And as is the case with the additional tokens, because a lot of this stuff has gotten added in from stretch goals. So as they've added this into the standard, they are also including the upgraded tokens for deluxe. There's this soup pot here, and there are these game trays, like player storage trays, so you can use these both probably in the game as well as using them for storage. And here's a look at that entire game tray storage system. So that's everything that you get when you go from the standard to the deluxe. Now there's one more pledge. It's called Merch Feast, and it's doubling the pledge yet again. This is $160 for this pledge, and shipping is $21, so $181 total. Now, with this pledge, you are getting everything that is available as an add-on that is merch, as well as the deluxe edition. So it's the deluxe edition and then all of the merch. So let's take a look at the merch, because maybe you just want to pledge the deluxe version and get 1 or 2 merch type items instead of getting all of them. Because none of this is gameplay related. These are all just kind of extra things. So as far as add-ons goes, and all of these things are in this Merch Feast pledge, but if you're looking at them separately as add-ons, there is a 500-piece puzzle for $12. There is Chef Critter Cutters for $6. And this is so you can make, cookies in the same shape as the characters from the game. Now, this was free if you solved some of the pre-launch puzzles that they were doing. I'm not sure if there's still a way to do that or not, but if there's not, you can always add them on for $6. They have similar critter cutters for all of the sous chef shapes. This is $20 as an add-on. We've got kitchen towels for $10. Critter kitchen recipe cards for $12. We've got oven mitts for $19. A game tote bag for $20. Critter coasters, 3 coasters for $3. There is a potion trivet for $9. And I believe that's everything. So all of those things are coming in the Merch Feast pledge, and you can always add them on separately if you want to back at a lower pledge and then get some of those items, or if you want to get more of them and add on multiple, copies. And finally, Critter Kitchen is slated to deliver in December of 2024. Now, we're going to keep bouncing around. So from here, we're going back to Gamefound for DreamEscape from Bad Cat Games. Now, DreamEscape is got about $200,000 now. It was $197 last time I looked, but $200,000 here. This is off of a $31,500 funding goal, so they're about a 6-time multiplier right now, and this campaign is going to run until November the 16th. So this is designed by Jason McLean Jones, published by Bad Cat Games. He's designed and published through Bad Cat Games a couple of other games, but probably games that people don't know. They're not very well-known games. And this one is a Cthulhu-themed narrative exploration solo game. So we're going to take a look at the video for this one, and then we'll go over the 3 pledge levels as well as the add-ons.
DreamEscape is a hybrid of role-playing game and Cthulhu mythos novella. Part card game, part choose-your-path adventure, DreamEscape plunges you into a nightmare, a survival horror dream world where you cannot wake up. 6 dreamers are lost and trapped, their minds shattered into fragments. You must bring these fragments back together, while Great Cthulhu hunts you at every turn. The story unfolds in encounter cards containing hundreds of threats and discoveries that you must overcome in your quest to find the keys to escape. Only by uncovering secret lore, hidden locations, and sanity-blasting spells will you stay ahead of Cthulhu's minions. Many items, treasure, and magical artifacts wait to be found. But remember, this is all a dream, and nothing lasts forever. The will of Cthulhu grows ever stronger, driving you ever towards insanity. Encounters will require clever use of your dreamer's skills, déjà vu, and lucid dreaming. And by the rolling of elder runes, strange artifacts left behind by the elder gods. But take heed, the more you use them, the more Cthulhu will notice you. Cthulhu's influence is trapped using tokens that block your dreamer's abilities. Gain too many, and the Great Old One's tentacles will envelop your mind, losing you the game. With over 8,000 unique outcomes, secret story paths to discover, and over 100 hours of gameplay, you must face this nightmare or else be trapped forever within the cage of your own mind.
Okay. I don't want to be trapped in the cage of my own mind. All right, let's take a look at these pledges. So we've got the Essential Edition here. This is a $69, maybe $70 pledge if we round this up. It's got $13 in shipping, so $83 total. And we are just getting the base game box in this pledge. They kind of compare the two things here. So when you go from the Essential Edition, which is this one, to the Deluxe Edition, you're increasing the number of cards because you're getting these Realm Box expansions 1 and 2, as well as a Wooden Token upgrade set and the Resin Elder Rune upgrade set. So those are the differences between the Essential and the Deluxe. So the Deluxe over here, a $99 pledge, $17 shipping, $116 total, and you're getting these things, the things I just mentioned. All right, if you go to the third and final pledge, because we're not going to look at the retailer tier. So this is the Dreamer Edition All-In, and we jump up quite a bit in price here. This is a $193 pledge, $22 in shipping, $215 total. And in this one, you're going to be adding on Realm Boxes 3 and 4. Remember, in the Deluxe you had 1 and 2, so now you're getting 3 and 4 as well. You're getting the DreamEscape playmat, the DreamEscape sleeve pack, a premium insert, and the Metal Elder Rune set. That's in addition to the Resin Elder Rune set. And I'm not sure, do they actually mention this down here? They kind of talk about it, but they don't really show it. But they show it here. You can see all these things in this pledge. Now, if you want some but not all of these add-ons, you can always pledge at a lower pledge and then add them on individually. So the DreamEscape sleeve pack is $25 as an add-on. The playmat is $20. The Resin Elder rune set is $15. The realm boxes are about $19 each, and you've got 4 of those. The premium insert is $43 as an add-on. The Metal Elder rune set is $25. And there's an early bird pack. So this early bird pack includes all the cards that were available to project followers and early birders, consists of the Prelude card set, the Brief Moment in Carcosa scenario pack, and the Harley Patton character card. So like the previous campaign, if you're here and you didn't back, early, then you can just add these on for $12. And these are not included in any of the pledges. They were an early bird special. So if you're pledging this now and you want these things, you will need to add them on. Okay, that is everything. And DreamEscape is slated to deliver in November 2024. Now, we're going to go back to Kickstarter for Keep the Heroes Out Boss Battles. This one has a $459,000 in their coffers here, and that's of a $10,000 funding goal. So that is a 46-time multiplier, which means that this campaign has the biggest multiplier of the video of the week. And this campaign is going to run until November the 13th. This is designed by Louis Brouet and his company Brouet Games. They're best known for Keep the Heroes Out, in addition to Night Parade of 100 Yokai and Volknut. And the original game here, it's always worthwhile, I think, looking at the original game over on Board Game Geek. If it already exists, you can do that. So the original game here has an 8.0 rating, which is pretty darn good, and the complexity is 2.4. I usually say that anything between like a 2 and a 2.55 is a medium light game. So this is in that range, sort of at the top of it, but it's not medium heavy. And as we see here, this is a game for 1 to 4 players. So in general, Keep the Heroes Out is a tower defense game. It's cooperative and it features deck building, variable player powers. What we're looking at is an expansion. And unfortunately, the video here doesn't really show much. It's just very short and there's nothing here of substance. So we're not going to watch the video for this one. Instead, we're just going to go down and take a look at the various pledges. Okay, so we've got returning backer. This is a $45 pledge, $21 in shipping, $66 total, and that will just get you this new Boss Battles expansion. Let's take a look at the expansion overview. So, Boss Battles, this expansion brings more monsters, new ways to handle difficulty, and boss battles. And when you defeat these mighty adversaries, you get to unwrap a special pack of cards. So there's a little bit of a leveling up system, or an unlocking system. And it talks about those things here. So if you're interested in exploring this more, I would encourage you to take a look at this. But we're going to go back and look at the rest of the pledges. And here's what comes in that, component-wise. You've got 26 painted meeples, a new dungeon tile, some more cards, ability cards and monster cards, 12 rookie cards, 50 boss cards, just kind of a lot of everything. 14 scenario cards, 15 tokens, just to keep your game going and give it some new life. Now, our next pledge is the base game. So this is for people who don't have the base game yet. This is an opportunity to get it if you can't find it at retail. This is a $60 pledge plus $21 in shipping, $81 total. Now, if you want both, you can get the Boss Battles combo. That's going to give you the base game and the new expansion, $105 pledge. There's no actual shipping estimate for this one. They've only given us shipping estimates for returning backer and base game. So I'm just going to give you my own estimates. We have something to go on. We'll say this is a $30 shipping charge, because that's certainly more than the $21 that the returning backer and base game we're estimating, which would bring this total pledge to about $135. And then finally, there is an all-in bundle. This is $180. We're going to guess that this is also $30 in shipping, so $210 total. And the thing that this adds on are Cozy Dungeon wooden bits, the Guildmaster's Revenge expansion, the Great Dreamer expansion, and the Sparkling Guardian expansion. So you're getting 3 more expansions in this all-in bundle, plus some wooden upgrades. And this project is slated to deliver in August of 2024. After that, we've got Mayan Curse. This one had a funding goal of $8,500. They're at $20,000 and change, so about 2 times their funding goal. And this campaign is going to run until November the 17th. So this one is a co-design between Sylvain Plant and Joe Slack. Joe Slack is best known for Relics of Rajavihara, and it's got art by Miguel Coimbra, who's a pretty well-known artist. He's done a lot of things, including Seven Wonders Duel, Battle Lore, Cyclades, and Small World. And the publisher here is Crazy Like a Box, which is Joe Slack's publishing company. So in this game, you're going to be looking at mechanics that include pattern movement and chaining. This is a shorter video, and it shows off the game and the components pretty well. So we're going to take a look at this, and then we'll come back and look at the 3 pledges as well as the add-ons, which I believe are pretty focused on Joe's other game, Relics of Rajavihara.
The spirits will guide the chosen one on the correct path. All others will not be so fortunate. Be the first to discover an ancient city that is said to lie deep in the jungles of El Salvador. Other explorers have come close, but they've all succumbed to the Mayan Curse. But to find the ancient city, you'll have to overcome a number of challenges. First, you'll cross the short passage made up of stone slabs with various Mayan symbols. Make sure to view the stele monuments along the way to gain crucial knowledge. Next, you'll pass a set of 3 suspicious boulders on your way to a longer passage. The stele monuments here will give you increasingly more knowledge about the ancient city. Finally, you'll reach a circular temple. It's trickier than the other passageways, but if you possess enough courage, you may reach the top and capture a picture, giving you irrefutable proof of the ancient city's existence. But be careful, the further you travel, the more you increase the chance of awakening the temple's spirits, which will trigger the boulders to tumble toward the entrance, protecting the secrets of the ancient city and trapping you forever. You'll have to balance when to reach for more knowledge and when to make your escape. All players draw 3 sacred stones. Then, on your turn, slide the slabs up to 3 times to create a path of matching symbols. Now, use your sacred stones to progress further, uncovering ancient knowledge along the way. You might even reach the top of the temple if you're lucky. Will you survive the Mayan Curse?
So there's obviously a lot going on in that game with the iconography and kind of moving boards around. All right, so let's take a look at the pledges here. We've got Mayan Curse. This is a $59 pledge with $20 shipping, $79 total, and that's going to get you everything. There aren't a lot of extras or add-ons. You're either kind of backing this game or not. And if you only want Mayan Curse, this is your pledge level. Once we go down here, we start bundling in other things. So at this pledge level, you're not only getting Mayan Curse, but you're getting Joe Slack's other big hit, Relics of Rajavihara. This is a $99 pledge with $25 in shipping for $124 total. And then if we go down one more, we've got Mayan Curse, and then we've got Relics of Rajavihara with its expansion, Montalo's Revenge. So this is a $118 pledge, also $25 in shipping, $143 total. Now, if we go down a little further on this side, we're going to see some additional add-ons as well. Just give me a second while I scroll down to this. Okay, they're kind of reiterating the pledges here. So you can always add on more copies of Relics of Rajavihara for $49 each. More copies of the expansion here, Montalo's Revenge, $25. And then this is your only way to get a copy of 14 Frantic Minutes, which is another of their games. This is $29 as an add-on. The one thing that I will say is that there is a Thrill Seeker expansion pack for Relics of Rajavihara, and it is not offered through this campaign. So that is the only thing for Relics of Rajavihara that you cannot get through this campaign. Just a little extra promo pack type thing. Finally, Mayan Curse is slated to deliver in November of 2024. And from there, we're going to look at the new game from Flat Out Games. This is called Nocturne. This had an $8,000 funding goal. They're currently at about $76,000, and this campaign is going to run until December 8th. So you've got some time. You've got all of November to consider backing this one. And this is designed by David Ietzi. It's got art from Beth Sobel, who's done so many things, but is probably best known for Arboretum, Calico, Cascadia, Viticulture, and Wingspan. So at this point, the games that she's known best for are kind of a combination of Stonemaier games and Flat Out games. And Flat Out is best known for publishing Calico, Cascadia, Fit to Print, Point City, and Verdant. So we're going to take a look at this video. This is like a 7-minute video, so we're just going to look at the first 4 minutes. I think that's all you really need to see. If you want to see more of the video, you are completely welcome to come back on your own and watch the last 3 minutes, and it looks at the game a little bit more deeply, but I don't think that we really need it for our purposes. And then we'll take a look at the 2 pledges, and one of those pledges is a print and play. So if you want a physical copy of this game, there's only one pledge for you to be worrying about.
It's twilight, and the Fox Mystics are using their powers to gather ingredients for their potions. Will you be able to outwit, or outfox, your rival Mystics? Nocturne is a puzzly spatial bidding and set collection game set in a moonlight forest, illustrated by Beth Sobel. From the team that brought you Calico, Cascadia, and Fit to Print, this Lucy Award-winning game, designed by David Ietzi and developed by the Flat Out Games collab, is a delightfully interactive puzzle with a highly competitive spatial bidding mechanism on a shared play area. Rules are simple and can be taught in just a few minutes. Let's venture into the forest to see how it's played. In Nocturne, each player takes on the role of a powerful fox mystic, casting spells to collect an assortment of enchanted items. Every turn, you must decide which items are most valuable to you, where you will cast your spells, and when to hold the other mystics back by outwitting them on the forest grid. Over 2 rounds, Twilight and Moonlight, players compete to collect the strongest sets of magical items, like firebird feathers, creature skulls, glowing mushrooms, mysterious eggs, and rare herbs. These items have a value when collected in specific sets, but can also be combined to fulfill recipes needed for concoctions, scoring you even more prestige. There are also special items like mirror stones, cursed treasure chests, and rune stones that grant additional powers and help to complete even stronger sets. Players begin each round with a set of numbered tokens that represent their spells of different strengths. These tokens are used to cast spells and bid on a grid of items and special action tiles on the forest floor. Once you cast a spell, other players will have an opportunity to cast a more powerful spell onto an adjacent item spot. As the forest is explored, different conditions of magical control will restrict pathways, leading to strategic situations where players can corner cast, securing multiple items with their less powerful spells by occupying a space where there are no adjacent spots to cast onto. Anytime, if you're unsuccessful at winning a tile with your spell, it can be dedicated to the forest sprites. The items on the forest sprite board are collected at the end of the Twilight and Moonlight rounds by players who have made the most powerful dedications. Casting the strongest magic will gain players many different types of items. Some, like feathers, mushrooms, or eggs, will score for their set collection. Others, like mirror stones, will duplicate an existing item. Each player begins the game with a secret concoction goal, but winning a runestone allows players to draw additional concoction cards to score for recipe fulfillment. Take a cursed chest, and you get the superpower of drawing 3 item tiles and choosing one. But beware, the cursed chest is also a negative point at the end of the game. Each round, players will also gain points if they achieve specific goals. Twilight goals are scored by the first person to achieve them, while Moonlight goals can be scored by multiple players. Many of these goals include a spatial puzzle element and provide points for controlling particular spaces on the forest grid. At the end of 2 rounds, players will score their sets of items, their concoctions, and all Twilight and Moonlight goals. Players also have the option of using their specific fox's power once in the game. If they do not, they will receive an additional 2 points at the end of the game. The setup of the forest grid, the variability of the Twilight and Moonlight goals, and concoction cards means that no 2 games of Nocturne will play out the same. Different spatial goals and situations will necessitate different strategies and tactics to outwit your opponents in this highly interactive and unique spatial bidding game. Nocturne plays up to 4 players and also has a super simple solo mode, so you can play anytime. Nocturne and the rest of our previously released games have become popular because of their high-quality game design, product design, and overall experience. This game will diversify any collection because it takes spatial puzzles to a new level.
All right, that's where we're going to start, and then if you want to watch this interview with the creators, you can do that on your own, but I think that's enough for us, for our purposes. Okay, so the 2 pledges here are the print and play. This is $5. There's no shipping. You're just going to get the STL files. You'll be able to print it on your own and play it. So that's it. And if you want a physical copy of the game, here is your pledge. It is a $29 pledge with $14 in shipping, $43 total, and it does include the Kickstarter promo pack as well as stretch goals. I don't believe there are any add-ons for this. I don't think that they're offering their previous games at all through this. I believe this is just a campaign for Nocturne. Yeah. So Nocturne is slated to deliver in September of 2024. And we are going to take a look at The Old King's Crown, a tale of royalty, rebels, and ruses. And this one's pretty interesting. It is by a first-time designer, first-time publisher, Pablo Clark and Eerie Idle Games. And you know, I don't always recommend first-time designers and publishers, and normally I recommend people be a little bit more wary because you just don't know if a first-timer is going to be able to handle all of the things that come up with running a campaign and publishing a board game for the very first time. However, I'm very impressed by what I'm seeing with this one, and I'm really considering pledging for this one personally myself. So we can see they had a funding goal here of $49,000. They're currently at $312,000, and this just keeps going up. I've been watching this steadily going up during the middle of the campaign, which is normally something that doesn't happen. Most Kickstarters do most of their business during the first 48 hours and the last 24, and it doesn't really move that much in the middle. So I think there's something to be said that word is getting out about this game during the campaign, and people are finding it and pledging it during the middle of the campaign. This campaign is going to run until November the 23rd, so you do have some time to consider this one. It is a medium-heavy Euro. It features mechanics like betting and bluffing and hand management, and we're going to take a look at this, about a 4-minute video, and then we'll come back and take a look at the 3 pledges. I should also mention that there is a Kickstarter exclusive premium metal token in this one, and that will be included with all pledges. I think it's like a first player token.
The old king is gone. Some say he passed peacefully in his sleep. Others whisper of foul play, a knife, or poison, or worse. A few claim he still remains, wandering the wilderness in the blue hours, wild-eyed and quite mad. Regardless, the old king is gone, and the crown lays unclaimed and unworn. And so the word travels over this ancient overgrown land of monuments and stone, of wide, white coasts, dark arcades of elm, and sleeping slopes of pine. It moves through the ivied estates of the nobility, where the dust drifts and old glories dream. They recall power, its locks and keys. The message spreads through the loud, ceaseless cities and the tumble-down towns, where new voices are emerging, raised and resisting. It crosses waves and climbs bright peaks, rallying those who exist at the margins of the world. It rides in the wake of their fleets. It journeys the lonely roads of spruce and ash and bone that give way to endless vaults of trees where shapes gather to stare at the night sky. In this place where the stones all recall and the zephyrs range and roam, a tale of royalty, rebels, and ruses is being told. What crown will you wear? The Old King's Crown is a 1 to 4 player strategy board game in which you take the role of an heir to an ancient crumbling kingdom. Through clever card play and outmaneuvering of your rivals, compete to accrue the most influence and claim the crown. Muster your asymmetric faction as you enter a beautifully illustrated land full of rivals, rewards, allies, and emergent opportunities. But every component is a handcrafted part of a larger fable. Each year in the life of this kingdom is told over a round of the game. What trials you weather and what triumphs you orchestrate will decide how much influence you are able to claim for your cause. In spring, set your schemes in motion. Your herald takes to the land, increasing the value of locations and creating dynamic duels as you posture and misdirect your next move. As summer arrives, cards are now placed face down, obscuring your true intentions. Perhaps you've dispatched an agent capable of eliminating characters. In autumn, your best laid plans come to fruition. Daggers flash, swords clash, and wars of wit and words reach their crescendo. As a result, regions may fall under the sway of your faction, allowing you to claim powerful rewards. As winter's chill begins, players look to the Great Road for signs of their returning expeditions. Do they bring with them ancient and valuable artifacts? Or perhaps, as the first snows arrive, do they tell tales of daring raids on rivals' territory? Now, as the days darken and the year's campaign draws to a close, your armies and advisors withdraw to the safety of your stronghold to see out the midwinter season. And so, we invite you to gather round the table and experience a game of wits and wagers, of bidding, bluffing, and brinkmanship, where only one can be crowned and be made the stuff of legend and myth. Back now to join us in the kingdom.
I really like the art for this. I do. It's very attractive to me. And I like what they've done component-wise. Like, they've got some really nice meeples. And they've kept the pledges relatively simple. Like, they're not going crazy with this. There's not all these kinds of miniatures and things like that. And that's really smart for, first published game. Just keep it simple. So we've got a pledge for the base game. $64, $19 in shipping, $83 total. And then we've got this other pledge, base game plus the Wild Kingdom expansion. So that's going to add in the Wild Kingdom expansion. That's $104, $20 shipping, $124 total. And that's basically it. You're either pledging for the game or you're also pledging for the expansion. Now there is one other pledge. It is this all-in, but the only thing that this adds is it takes this pledge, the base game and the Wild Kingdom expansion, and then it adds onto it a set of art prints. So this is $122, $20 in shipping, $142 total. And that's it. Those are your three choices. You're either going to get the game with the expansion, or the game with the expansion and an art print pack. So those are your choices. And they show it outlined right here. And the Old King's Crown is going to deliver in October of 2024. Now, from there, we are going to go back to Gamefound for the final time of this video. And we're going to take a look at Secrets of the Lost Tomb Epic Remastered Edition 10-year anniversary. Ooh, that's a mouthful, huh? So this had a $50,000 funding goal here. They're at 520,000, so about a 10-time multiplier. And this is a game where you're playing various characters and you're doing different things around the map, kind of going on quests and stuff like that. And the designer will tell you that it was very inspired by, I think, Arkham Horror and Indiana Jones. The very first version of Arkham Horror came out in the 80s, and then they did a second edition in 2005 and a third edition in 2018. To me, this reminds me a little bit more of games like Fortune and Glory, which came out in 2011, and Tales of the Arabian Nights, which came out in 85 and then had a second edition in 09. So this game that came out originally in 2012. So that's kind of on the heels of Tales of the Arabian Nights in 09 and Fortune and Glory in 2011. And it's co-designed by Christopher Batarlis and Jim Sammartino. Christopher's other big designs are Agents of Smersh, Big Trouble in Little China, the game, and Rambo, the board game. And pretty much all of his designs he's published through his Everything Epic Games publishing label. So this is a medium-heavy cooperative game using action points and tile placement. There's a couple videos here. One of them is the designer kind of just giving his sales pitch, so we're not going to look at that one. We're going to watch the other video, and then we'll come back and we'll take a look at the 4 pledges.
Every 113 years, the Gorgon's Head Comet appears in our sky, triggering the return of an ancient and magical tomb. We are descendants of the Eternal Order of Perseus, a secret society sworn to seek out the tomb and protect the world as we know it in Secrets of the Lost Tomb. Inspired by games like Mansions of Madness and Betrayal at House on the Hill, films like Indiana Jones, and the works of H.P. Lovecraft, Secrets of the Lost Tomb is a cooperative, narrative, pulp, action, adventure, scenario-based game for 1 to 6 adventurers. Players will choose a unique narrative scenario to explore in our story-filled, ever-changing, dangerous tomb. In this special 10-year anniversary epic remaster of the original game, we are keeping all of the original thematic mechanics, but are also excited to introduce new features, such as the all-new Spirit Monger, which allows ancient spirits from throughout history to be summoned to your party's aid. Unique, powerful artifacts that lay hidden within the deepest reaches of the tomb. Useful items to help you battle against the forces of evil. Helpful companion adventurers that will support you on your quest. Players will also enjoy our completely updated component and graphic design for more table presence, functionality, and ease of use. For the first time ever, multiple language translations. Most importantly, we've edited and updated all of our original adventure scenarios and have added an additional 7 fully loaded expansion packs, each with more scenarios, room tiles, creatures, artifacts, and more. Secrets of the Lost Tomb is the ultimate thematic pulp action adventure cooperative narrative game of thrilling action, exploration, and combat, and of course, the story. It is in your hands now to discover the secrets of the Lost Tomb.
Okay, so I think, there are people in the hobby that kind of got introduced to the hobby 10 years ago with this game. And so I did want to profile this for those people who would be really excited that this is coming back around. So we've got 4 different pledges, and then an additional 2 that are kind of vanity pledges, meaning you're just paying to add something into the game, like you want a card or you as a character. But we're going to start things off with the Adventure Pledge, and that's this one. So this is $100. It is $29 in shipping, so $129 total. And this is going to get you, just to see if they list it, they do, the core game, 13 extra dice, and the secret expansion. All right, so that's the Adventure Pledge. From there we go to the Explorer Pledge. This is $199, $38 in shipping for $237 total. And this is going to add some things to that previous pledge. You will be getting the Ancient Myths and Legends expansion, the Great Apocalypse expansion, and the Reign of Terror expansion. So it's adding 3 more expansions onto that previous pledge level. Then there is the Tomb Raider Pledge. So this is $299, $49 in shipping, $348 total. And this is going to add on 2 tile expansion packs, Passages and Perils, and Lost City of Atlantis, and then 3 more story expansion packs, Fate's Fortune, the Elite Missions, and a unique Glow Dice. From there we go to All-In Gameplay. Where is All-In Gameplay? It's hiding. Here it is. All-In Everything, Epic, The Fortune, and Glory Seeker. So this is a $399 pledge with $59 in shipping for $458 total. And this is going to add in 8 more expansions to everything that we've talked about previously, plus a storage box and trays. Let me see if I can click on, where do they list that? Here's the upgraded storage solution. Okay, so they're not really showing a good picture of that, but that's the storage box. And then, do they show the trays here? It doesn't look like they do. Okay. Now from here, there are 2 other pledges. One of them is this Spirit Monger Tomb Creator, and both of these pledges kind of build off that All-In Gameplay pledge. So for this one, you're going to spend $599, $59 in shipping, $658 total. That will get you the All-In Gameplay pledge, plus it's going to allow you to name a tile. Name and create a tile. And then the final pledge, this Immortal member of the EOP, it's going to give you that All-In Gameplay pledge. You're still going to get to name a tile, but then in addition, you are going to have a character card created on your, after your likeness. So this is a $799 pledge, $59 in shipping, $858 total. But these 2 pledges are pledges that most people won't really be interested in. Now, there are some add-ons, and they are add-ons that aren't included in any of those pledges. So these, for the most part, are not gameplay related. There is a playmat, $50 as an add-on, t-shirt, $30, and a kind of con carrier gaming tote bag for $13. You can also get these epic stands to put your characters on. That's $20 as an add-on. But all of these things, these 4 things, these aren't included with the pledges. So if you want any of these things, you will need to add them on. And lastly, Secrets of the Lost Tomb is going to deliver in May of 2025. So this actually has, a year and a half until delivery. And from there, we're going to go back to Kickstarter, and we're going to be staying on Kickstarter for the remainder of this video. So, Spiritfire, $50,000 funding goal. They're up to $542,000 total. So, that's about 11-time multiplier on this one, and this campaign is going to run until November the 14th. Now, this is being published by Orange Nebula. This is their 3rd game. Their first one was Vindication, which was designed by Mark Needlinger, and then Tom Matson came on the designing team, and they did Unsettled, and now Eric Johnson has come on the designing team. So there are 3 designers for Spiritfire. And this is a very, very different kind of a unique game. You're going to have character boxes, you're going to have realm boxes, and you mix and match them to give you a gaming experience that is very much centered around your character. Almost like, like a tarot deck or something like that. Something that's kind of about self-exploration, except this is a game. It's not something where you're just finding out about yourself. There is a whole game and a deep game involved with this. But the language that they use in this is a little bit vague in how they're talking about it. And I don't know. I'm definitely going to back this. I'll just tell you that right now, because I think Orange Nebula is an amazing publisher, and Vindication and Unsettled are fantastic games. Vindication just has great production standards to it. They may have gone back to the well once too many times with it and just produced too much stuff, but it is a grab bag of Euro mechanics, and it's like super pretty, super well produced, and just a great, great game. And then for their second game, they did Unsettled, which is a cooperative exploration game, probably number one as far as I'm concerned in terms of narrative exploration games, or games where you're trying to do something before the floor falls out from underneath you. So I'm very much on board with Spiritfire, but I don't know if I would have been if I was coming to this as a first game. But let's take a look at the video, and then we'll go over the pledge. There's only one pledge, but there are some different add-ons that you can add on to that pledge if you want to make your game even more robust. So let's take a look.
You've always sensed something more, tucked quietly away within you. A spark, a radiance, flickering with life. A fire inside that is greater than you, and yet somehow is you. The time has come to let it out. This experience is personal. There is no set story for you to follow, because you are the story. Your journey will take you through mysterious realms, each full of wonders and intrigue. You'll find stories you can integrate into your own, and moments that will take you by surprise. Your drive to discover will determine which parts of these realms you uncover, and your curiosity will reveal hidden opportunities that might easily go overlooked. It's up to you to decide what is worthy of your spark. The significance of any given moment will be defined by your choices and by your resolve to reach for something more. To simply endure is to stand unchanged. Press in, and you may find something new flickering inside you, a deeper discernment. With this, you will determine and discover who you will become. Each challenge you face will require a fresh approach and the ability to adjust as needed. You will tap into forces within, infinitely more useful to you and wildly more powerful than a sword. Your understanding, your will, your essence. You will also need to reach outward, staking your trust not on equipment and a pack of provisions, but on connections to the world around you. To arcane aspects of reality, surpassing but interacting with the physical. Beneath it all, enabling everything you do, is Spiritfire. Wild and potent, intimate yet unknowable. It is the source of mystery and the revealer of truth. Through it, you will seek to discover who you truly are. Tend your fire with care, though, or it may burn out of control. The impact of your actions and exploration will be wide-ranging, affecting both you and the world around you. Sometimes your experiences will lead to growth, sometimes to scars. Occasionally, the environment will evolve and new opportunities will present themselves, at times because of your actions, at times in spite of them. As your journey wears on, your internal spark will diminish, With care and temperateness, you can rekindle it. For a time. But, inevitably, the day will come when your spark will run out and you will face the final act of your passage through this life. In the end, the measure of your efforts is what you did with your spark while it burned. What did you become? And what ancestral legacy did you leave as a foundation for those who follow? What did you do in this dark world with the flame you carried?
So it's definitely a game, but that game is going to come very much from you and from your choices rather than following a set narrative. And let's take a look at this over here on Board Game Geek for a second. Spiritfire. Okay, so it says it's for 1 to 3 players. And right now the community is saying that it's best at 1. And that kind of has an effect on the campaign itself. Because if you just get the core pledge, you're getting 1 character box. So this is a $99 pledge, and the shipping on this is $25, so it's going to cost you $124 total. And that's the only pledge, other than the retailer pledge. However, if we go down and we look at add-ons, there are some additional things you can get, right? So there's this other realm, the Slabs realm. So this is going to be a new realm in addition to, I think it's 3 realms that come with it. So this is an additional realm for $19 as an add-on. There's also a neoprene underlay that you can get for $9 that will go underneath that realm. There are character pack bundles for $19 each. And then you've got sleeves. And if you were to read through this, I mean, there's different packs of sleeves that are $7 each. And then there are these clear sleeves, which are $5 each. So I've read through this, and basically what they tell you is that for a normal person playing a character pack, they're probably going to want 8 packs of sleeves, 4 of them colored and 4 of them clear. And so, that's $20 for the clear sleeves, $28 for the colored ones. And if you add on the other items, the character pack, the Slabs underlay, and the Slabs realm, and you add that on to the core pledge with shipping, you're looking at about $219 for everything. And the shipping on that is still going to remain $25. But remember, this is a 1 to 3 player game. So that would get you everything you would need to play this solo. But if you want to play it with 2 or 3 players, you're going to need to get additional character boxes. And anytime you add on a character box, you're going to add on some shipping. So if you get 2 character boxes, it's going to be $30 shipping instead of $25. And 3 character boxes, it would be $40 shipping instead of $30 or $25. But remember, each character box is going to also be $99 more. So like if you were going to get everything for 2 players, you'd start with that $219. You add on another character box for $99, $5 in shipping. So you're up to about $324 or something like that. And then you may want to get, more sleeves as well, maybe more character packs. The character pack bundles. So there's ways to mix and match this that go way beyond the core pledge, and you will want to get one of these kind of base core boxes for each person that you are planning to play the game with. It's a little bit different than a lot of campaigns, how they run it, and I just wanted to give you an idea of how the pledges and the math works on this one. But I will say that Orange Nebula, I think, is a fantastic publisher, and if you like exploration, narrative-driven games that are very clever and unique and kind of lean into that, you're really going to like this, I think. And finally, this game is going to be delivering in December of 2024. All right, from there, we're going to look at a triptych of games, Through the Desert, A Message from the Stars, and Switchbacks. And these are being published by All Play. They had a $20,000 funding goal on this, and they're currently at $164,000. So they're very well funded, about 8 times. We're not going to watch this video because it is just someone from Allplay in kind of homemade costumes talking about the games, but not very descriptively. So I think the video here is not helpful. What I can tell you is that Through the Desert, this is going to be a new version of the Reiner Knizia Classic. That's a medium light game that uses network and route building and chaining, kind of area control. Then we've got this new game called A Message from the Stars, designed by Clarence Simpson. And he designed Merchants of Magic for Rock Manor Games and The Wolves for Pandasaurus Games. And both of those games have been out for a couple years. Merchants of Magic, I think, ran a Kickstarter, and they recently have had an expansion Kickstarter that's completed, and The Wolves just went directly to retail from Pandasaurus. And this game is a cooperative deduction game that is word-based. And then finally, we've got Switchbacks, sort of a filler game from designer Susumu Kawasaki. It is a tile placement game, and Susumu is probably best known for another game called Traders of Osaka. So you've got kind of a range of games. They're all in the, I'd say, light to medium light range. Switchbacks and A Message from the Stars being on the lighter side, Through the Desert being medium light, and a variety of mechanics, but kind of area control and network and route building and chaining for Through the Desert. You've got deduction, cooperative game, word-based for A Message from the Stars, and then tile placement and a very light game for Switchbacks. So let's take a look at the pledges for these. Also take note, for each of these games, there's kind of an upgraded component. And Allplay does this a lot. They'll kind of do one upgraded component per game. So if we go over here and we take a look at the pledges on the right side, you've got Switchbacks, $19 pledge. This is just for the filler game. And the other thing about this is that, at least for the continental US, their shipping is really inexpensive and really consistent. So no matter what pledge you pledge at, it's a $4 shipping fee for the continental US. So Switchbacks is $23. A Message from the Stars, $43 with shipping. And Through the Desert, also $43 with shipping. Now, if we go to this 3-game bundle, this is where you really start to see value because they're throwing in all of these upgrades. And this is, 19 plus 10, that's 29, plus 12, it's $41 in upgrades that they're essentially throwing in for free, kind of. So this is a 3-game bundle, $97 to pledge this. Again, $4 in shipping, so that's $101 total. So when you add these together, $39, $39, $19, these total $97. So you're not getting a break on the bundle in terms of the games themselves, but you are getting all of these upgrades baked in for free. So it's a $40 savings. And with Through the Desert, these are the modular expansions. With A Message from the Stars, you're looking at some additional dice and these message card consoles. And for Switchbacks, you're looking at these deluxe hiker meeples. And I believe you can also add these on if you want more of these. The best way to figure this out is just to go into details. Usually, if a project doesn't list add-ons, but you can add them on, they'll list them within the pledges once you go into the details section. So you can always add, more copies of the games. You can add the individual component upgrades for each game. And it looks like they also have a premium board game bag here available as an add-on for $59. Finally, these 3 games are going to deliver in May of 2024. And that brings us to our final campaign of the video, the last of the 12 campaigns that we're looking at. And this is for Worldspanner Factions. And this is Duel of Ages and Duel of Ages 2. This is basically the new name that they are, I don't want to say reprinting because it's more than a reprint, but They are publishing Duel of Ages 2. This is the new version of it. It's called Worldspanner Factions. And people who know Duel of Ages and Duel of Ages 2 probably know that because the publisher is called Worldspanner, and there are Worldspanner Factions in the game previously. They're just kind of shifting the name. So this is another campaign like Secrets of the Lost Tomb that people may have come into the hobby playing, 10, 15 years ago. And I figured you might want to see this new version. So this is a $20,000 funding goal. They're at about $59,000. So they're 3 times the funding goal. They're doing well. This is going to fund. All of these games were designed by Brett G. Merle and were published through Worldspanner. That's the publisher. These are essentially narrative exploration games where you've got a character. You're going to be going around a hex board, taking different actions, and also using the mechanics of a war game. So it's kind of a narrative exploration game. We've seen some of those this video, but crossed with a war game. Now, let's take a look at the previous version. Well, let's look at both. This was the original version of the game. Well, let's go to Duel of Ages 2 since that actually came up. So this one was published in 2013. We can see that this is a 7.3 rating. The complexity is 3.41, which is heavy. Anything over 3.33 is a heavy game. And it looks like they're saying it re-implements Duel of Ages Set 1. So this was the original game, which was published in 2003. And then they redid it. See, and even then, Worldspanner is in the title. So if you know Duel of Ages, calling it Worldspanner isn't a huge leap. But it was republished in 2013 as Duel of Ages 2. Okay, so let's go back over here. Let's take a look at this video. It's about 3 minutes, and then we're going to go over the 4 pledges, which kind of cobble together pieces of the game, expansions and things, until you get to the final pledge that is all-inclusive.
In the far future, virtual reality takes a leap forward. No longer do you merely enter into the body of your hero avatar. You immerse into their mind as well. You don't simply look like Annie Oakley. You are Annie Oakley when your team enters the Worldspanner games. Worldspanner Factions is a unique blend of tactics, resource management, and adventure. It's storytelling without reading, min-maxing without limited combos, worker placement, but your workers can be eaten. It's an advanced course on strategy and tactics, but you can be terrible at tactics and still enjoy yourself thoroughly. It's a contest where a druid, a princess, an alien, and 100 other heroes team up to make their mark on the world under your direction. Factions is both a competitive team game and an epic solo co-op campaign. It is also mod heaven, a game system designed to assimilate other universes, other genres, and other characters of your own crafting. To play the team game, build a beautiful map and split players into 2 teams. Recruit a company of heroes from across time, genre, and universe. Your heroes find favor with 9 faction houses by handling quests, from the humble labors of Greenvale to the rulership of Crown District and the diabolical plans of Dreadmark. Helpful heroes gain resources like gold, boosts, and equipment. Use these resources to your team's greatest benefit. But enemy heroes will be nearby, making life hazardous for your hard-working heroes. They may be armed, they may have nasty pets, or they might be terrifying all on their own. To play the campaign, you take on the role of coach over a professional team of athletes that compete in the Worldspanner games in the far future. Train up a new team of 12 athletes who immerse body and mind into the archetypal heroes of the arena. The new team is called Dropkick, and your employers have great hopes for its success. But can you as coach deliver? Take your team through a branching storyline with major after effects for every hard decision you must make. You are tested like a coach, managing a relationship with your employers, engaging with each athlete's personality, upholding team morale and cohesion, all the while trying to survive in the arena against a pile of uglies. Enjoy a deep progression model where your coaching, your relationships, and the skill of each athlete builds an effectiveness along multiple paths. And that's just the start of the 5-act epic that will take you and your athletes far beyond what you expected. There are 107 playable heroes, 42 brutal campaign foes, 108 useful treasures, each unique, and 37 interlocking map pieces in faction sets 1 through 3. Factions is the grand successor to Duel of Ages and Duel of Ages 2, winners of 29 board game awards.
So that's pretty cool, I think. That takes Duel of Ages and adds to that this kind of campaign, which feels like it's modeled after like the Hunger Games or something, where you're going to be taking other characters, importing them into the Duel of Ages universe, and then playing as different characters, almost like time stories or something like that. But I think that's really neat that they've kind of brought a campaign play into this. All right, let's take a look at the various pledges here. So we've got the first set, which is a $59 pledge with $20 shipping, $79 total. And that is going to get you heroes and 5 exclusive treasures. Now, if we go over here to pledge rewards, they don't actually show you the pledge rewards by pledge. They kind of show you the things that make up the pledges. So the first set is heroes, and you're going to be getting all of these things. Then there's expanses, which adds on more stuff. And as we go down here, you're going to start to add things in. So skipping over, the retailer placeholder here, if we do full series, which is the next pledge level up, this is a $179 pledge, $24 shipping, $203 total. And that's going to take that first pledge with the heroes and the 5 exclusive treasures, and it's going to add on expanses, so that's this module, as well as foes, so that's this module, and then 4 more exclusive heroes. So in that pledge level, you're getting both of this, the treasures and the heroes, whereas in the first one, you were just getting the treasures. Okay, if we go down a little bit further here, we go to the gifter. So this is $349, $40 in shipping, $389 total, and that is going to add on 3 more of those heroes packs, set A, and 3 more of the 5 exclusive treasures sets. So basically you're giving yourself a more variability to play with more people. And then if we go to the highest pledge level here, the collector, this is a $349 pledge, kind of similar to this one, right? Also, no, it's a little bit less shipping on this. So it's $36 shipping on this, so $385 total. So with this set, you're getting 2 of everything. So in this one, you are getting 4 heroes and 4 exclusive treasures. This one brings that down to 2 each. But then it's going to add in 2 of the other things. So 2 sets of expanses, 2 sets of foes, and an additional set of the exclusive heroes pack. So kind of 2 of everything, whereas this one just had 4 of some things and 1 of other things. Finally, there are a couple add-ons here. There are these mini files. So you're not actually going to get minis. These are just STL files that you can print on your own. The mini model intro here is $12 as an add-on, and the mini model master is $48 as an add-on. And these are different. So if you wanted all of them, you would need to add on both of these, and it would be a $60 total. And these are not included in any of the pledge prices. So if this is something you wanted, you would need to add that on to your pledge. And then finally, Worldspanner Factions is going to deliver in July of 2024. So that brings us to the end of the campaigns. And before I wrap the video, I would like to quickly go over the games that I've acquired into my collection since the last video, and offer to everyone watching to let me know if any of these games are games that you want me to bump up in my queue in terms of producing teach and review videos or live streaming. And so those games include Dixit 3, which is called Dixit Journey. Kristen and I really like Dixit, but we only have the base game, and we found out that when we were playing with friends, we ran through the cards pretty quickly. So I looked at getting the second Dixit, which is just more cards, but that was out of stock in various places. So I got Journeys, which is sort of the the third pack of cards. So we'll have more cards for Dixit. I also got 2 expansions to Elder Sign, Gates of Arkham, and Grave Consequences. Grave Consequences is a little one that adds up the mechanics a little bit, but Gates of Arkham is more of an expansion. And that's because Elder Sign is something that I enjoy and I'd like to live stream. And so I'm trying to get more things for it to be able to live stream it a few times. I also got Sky Team, which is a cooperative game that I thought Kristen would really like playing with me, and I've played that online with a friend of mine. You have 2 people working together as a pilot and a co-pilot trying to land a plane. And it's a really, really great production with lots of different scenarios that bring in different mechanics, and there's just a lot of life in that game. I've played it a lot already, and I'd really recommend it to anyone who likes 2-player games and dice placement games. It's cooperative. And then I also got in Vampire the Masquerade Chapters, which is by Flyhouse, who also did Werewolf the Regeneration fairly recently. And it is a Vampire the Masquerade themed game. It's sort of scenario based. I'm really excited for that one, and I think that's something that would be really cool to do as a live stream. Over time, play it as a campaign. I also got in some Kickstarters that delivered this period, Adventure Tactics, and both versions, so Adventures in Alchemy and Damian's Tower. And that also is something I thought would be pretty fun to live stream. I got in Return to Dark Tower, which was a pretty big, expensive Kickstarter that I was really interested in acquiring because I owned the original Dark Tower game back in the 80s. I guess that gives me a little bit of gamer geek cred. I no longer own it, and I thought, I'm curious to see what the new one is like. So I didn't back it originally, and then when they went and they did the expansion for Covenant, I came in and did it as a late pledge. And then finally, Scholars of the South Tigris, the latest Garpel games to deliver, also came, and I think all of their stuff is just really great, well-designed Euros, so I'm really excited to get that one to the table. Okay, now in terms of what's going to be featured in the next video, which should go live in just a couple days, Wondrous Creatures from Bad Comet will probably be profiled, and My Favorite Things and the String Railway Collection from Play for Keeps will probably be profiled. I was also going to include Boundless Stride Into the Denlands from Incredible Dream Studios, but that's going to be launching now later into November. And Kids Table Board Games has a new version of Wasabi, which is a game that I really wanted to get when I first kind of re-entered the hobby around 2015, but it was out of print. So they're doing a new version of it. And that should be launching very soon, and probably won't be in time for me to include in the next video, but I'm guessing it'll be in November as well. So all we really know right now is that the next video in a couple days' time will include Wondrous Creatures, probably, and My Favorite Things in the String Railway Collection, probably. And then probably a few games that launched today, but we'll see. So if you haven't liked or subscribed, you could always do that now. Thank you very much for joining me and spending some time with me, and hopefully I was able to help make up your mind regarding backing a certain game or not, or maybe you discovered a game that you weren't aware of through this video. I'll hopefully see you back here in a couple days' time. Until then, play some great games, have a great Halloween, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.